Alright, so we're going to be making Oobleck for this science experiment, and the general formula for this is to use 1 part water and 1.5 to 2 parts of cornstarch. And that's all the ingredients that we're really going to need for this. In this case, my 1 part is going to be 1 cup of water. And from there, we're just going to keep adding cornstarch and mixing. No need to be afraid about how much you're adding, until we get that gooey mixture that we're looking for. So 1 spoon. There you go. Now we have that gooey consistency that we're looking for. That took about, again, 1 part water and then 1.5. This was more closer to 2 parts of cornstarch to make this happen. Now, the whole idea of Oobleck is that it is non-Newtonian, meaning that its viscosity alters based on how much stress and force that's being put on it. Meaning that if we were to apply a lot of force on it, say like punching it, it's gonna have a relatively hard surface to the punch. Whereas if we were to hold it, like so, it's gonna, and like slowly rub on it and run our fingers through it, it's gonna have more of a watery consistency to it. And the reason for that is because the particles in Oobleck are the thin and long particles of cornstarch. Now, when cornstarch mixes with water and then we're doing the mixing of the two substances, the particles of cornstarch aren't actually dissolving in the water. What's instead happening is that the cornstarch particles are being suspended in the mixture. So when we start rubbing slowly the mixture, the particles of the cornstarch and the particles of the water are slowly going past each other. They're not dissolved and becoming singular particles. No, they're still separate, except that the cornstarch is suspended in the water. However, if we were to apply more force, like punching it, then the two particles, the two molecules, are going to become intertangled with each other. And because of that, it makes it appear as though it's taken on a harder viscosity, a thicker viscosity, and thus a harder texture. So if we were to take some Oobleck, mix it around, it's gonna take on kind of like a ball shape. But if we were to let that go, take off all the stress and pressure that we're putting on it, it'll melt right back. And you can all try that from your own homes just with some cornstarch and water and really play with it and really understand how that non-Newtonian fluid works. Hope you enjoyed.